Check, check. Woo, that's hot. Check, check. Hey, hey. Yeah. Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope there shines upon each face. May it bring forth to guide our journey home. Yeah, yeah. Cool, cool.
Testing. Oh, sorry. Relax, everyone. Sorry, that was too loud. Hello, testing. Steve, are you hearing that on the phone and telling if that sounds stuttery or not? Do you need to go outside or is it working? Te- There's definitely a delay, no, but is it stuttery? Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Is there any stutter or is it? It's like 30 seconds, yeah.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining, almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a word that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, a secret chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that memorize. A tender lover's smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest, yes, I suggest to you, yes, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. And this is the faith that they invest in you, that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know it's yours to finally set right. And I suggest, yes, I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song that comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. This is a song with a request of you to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life.
May I suggest that you come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the very heart of our homes with our friends who are joining us on the live stream. Brad, thank you for running that again today. Brad has spent all weekend in the church. What? Thank you. Yeah. This morning is our last Sunday in our April 30 Days for the Earth. We began in gratitude. We moved through honoring our pain for the world. And today we refresh our senses so we can move forward with active hope. We followed Joanna Macy's spiral during this, her spiral of the work that reconnects. And if you're curious about what that is, and if you have spaciousness in your afternoon, there will be a workshop here in Fireside Room from 12:30 until 5:30. And I'm sure the leaders would love you to participate in that. We'd love to stay connected. If you're not already connected with us, you can sign our online guest book. And we're really glad you're spending Sunday morning with us. Each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with love, compassion, and justice with these words from Kaisa Footracer. When your heart breaks, let it break not like a bone brittle with pain. Rather, let it break and open like a seed as it seeds out new life into the unknown. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and is still the home of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle, symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
And our opening hymn is 1000 and the teal hymnal, Morning Has Come. If your body feels like it wants to rise up out of the pew, it can. If you want to hum along, you can do that. Sometimes it's just good to get our bodies moving together in the morning.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
And take a moment and turn gently to your neighbor and welcome them into the worship space. responsive reading comes from our hymnal, and if you want to look along, you can, except the words you share are not going to be the italicized one in the hymnal, right? You got to stay on your toes when you come into worship in this space. So the congregational response is, may our love for creation lead to wholeness. May we choose joy over despair. And that is in the order of worship if you happen to take one. And spirit of love that flows against our flesh, sets it trembling, moves across it as across grass, erasing every boundary that we accept and swings the doors of our lives wide. This is a prayer I sing, save our perishing earth. May our love for creation lead to wholeness. May we choose joy over despair. Spirit that hears each one of us, hears all that is, listens, hearts us out, inspire us now. May our love for creation lead to wholeness. May we choose joy over despair. Our own pulse beats in every stranger's throat, and also there within the flowered ground beneath our feet. Teach us to listen. May our love of creation lead to wholeness. May we choose joy over despair. And we can hear it in water and wood and even stone. We are earth of this earth. We are bone of earth's bone. This is a prayer I sing, for we have forgotten this, and so the earth is perishing. May our love for creation lead to wholeness. May we choose joy over despair. And in that spirit of choosing joy over despair and loving all of creation, way back last fall in 2021, do you all remember there was that other brief time when we all felt wild and were actually going places before Omicron? Oh my goodness. And some of us at Throop were in a book group, and we were reading Braiding Sweetgrass from Robin Wall Kimmerer. And Kimmerer is a poet and a biologist, and this book, Braiding Sweetgrass, really reads as a love song, not just to the whole earth, but really a love song to plants. And I highly recommend it. And so I share with you today a brief passage from that book, Braiding Sweetgrass. She reflects on its sacred qualities and the way it has been used to create baskets. She wrote, "The marvel of a basket is in its transformation, its journey from wholeness as a living plant to fragmented strands, and back again to wholeness as a basket. A basket knows the dual powers of destruction and creation that shape the world. Strands once separated are woven into a new whole. The journey of a basket is also the journey of a people." And we come here with all of our separate strands. Our spirit and energy and breath creates this Throop community. And you all support it in so many different ways through your gifts of time and your gifts of talent and your gifts of treasure. And for those of you who are able to make a financial contribution this morning, we greatly appreciate it. You can give, if you're in the room, through these offering baskets being passed down the aisle by our ushers. You can give online, you can text to give, and those ways to give are in your order of worship, or they're also in the live stream chat.
and child, but it includes all creatures, be they tame or be they wild. My family upon this earth includes all living things, on land or in the ocean deep, or borne aloft on wings. The ever-spinning universe, well, there shall be my home. I sing and spin within it, as through this life I roam. Eternity is hard to ken, and harder still is this. A human life, when truly seen, is briefer than a kiss.
And in a spirit of gratitude for all of the strands that have found their way into our worship space today, into our community, we say the words of thanks for our offering together. They're in your order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And we follow that with words of gratitude and blessing and thanksgiving for our earth with our promise to our planet. Please say together, as members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it and eyes nurtured by its beauty and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. And as we think about nurturing our planet and ourselves today and for the next few weeks, we are also going to be thinking about how we nurture this, our Throop community. And today we have Rachel and Dave Ryan, who will share a little bit about why Throop has been important in their family's life.
Good morning. We became pledging members of Throop almost immediately after finding the community here. And it's really because of the community and all that it offers our family. And we're talking to you today just as we start this drive because we know that pledging not only deepens our connection here at Throop, but also allows us to participate in making everything possible, all the amazing services and activities that we have. And our pledge also helps the budget committee and the board to determine how we're going to spend the money, what we're going to spend the money on for the coming year. And our fiscal year is in June, so that's coming up soon. And so this week you're going to be receiving an email from Tara with a little information and then also a mailing asking you to pledge for the coming year. And there are some things that we're hoping to put back into the budget that were taken out due to our closure from COVID. So one of the things, the reason that we're here today is that we're looking to start up the children's program again and fund someone to staff the nursery so that some children will have a place to be. And it's so important for our family, for our daughter, and we just want to share that with more children. So Dave is going to talk a little bit about how Throop affects our family directly.
Hi, everyone. I think most of you know our daughter Ripley. What's amazing about this place for us, for our family, is that from the moment we walked through those doors, our daughter Ripley was recognized as who she was and as a person. She wasn't our daughter. She wasn't Dave's daughter and Rachel's daughter. She was Ripley. And that was amazing. This is a place where she can be herself. She can be accepted for who she is. And it's a safe place for her and for anyone to be who they are and to maybe even figure out who they are, which kids are doing, but we're all doing. There aren't many places in this world where people, let alone children, can have that freedom. So we're very grateful for this place and for this community as a place that sort of keeps in the way we're raising our daughter, to sort of give her the freedom and choices to be herself. And we just feel like that's so important, not just for this church and this community, but for the world, that children have a place to be free to do that. So we're very grateful, and that's one of the reasons we support this church and this community.
And I have to add something that Ripley would have said if she were here. She said that, she told us that Throop allows us to be herself, but she also said that while she loves to be in the service with everyone, the chairs are not that comfortable, and she thinks that the children's room would be a little bit more enjoyable at this point. So that's from Ripley. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want anyone to leave the service right now unless you really feel like it for one of the children's programs room, but I understand why Ripley would say that, because there is this like very cozy covered area in there with like pillows and a like fluffy rug, and it's a great place to go and just have some like quiet time and read. It's possible when I'm in my office that you can sometimes find me in that little nook in the children's room, but I'm not going to confirm or deny that I spend time there. And so with that story of why Throop is important to them and that spirit of gratitude, I invite everyone to take a gentle breath in this moment. And exhale, letting yourself land in that comfortable pew. How about familiar pew for some of you? And to take a gentle breath in, feeling a sense of connection with yourself, with the space, and with the world. Just continuing to be mindful of your breath and your body. And I invite you to spend these moments where we're in some relative stillness as a collective group to really intentionally first hold your own self in a spirit of kindness and generosity. Fiona is amplifying that. And I invite you to take a breath in and exhale. And in your mind and heart, hold one other person in this room in a spirit of kindness and generosity. And then take another gentle breath in together and exhale as you hold some part of our beautiful creation in a spirit of kindness and generosity. And then our final breath in together and exhale. as you hold however you choose to name the sacred energy of the universe or not name it, and hold that breath of life in a spirit of kindness and generosity. And for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Break not the circle of enabling love, where people grow forgiven and forgiving. Break not that circle, make it wider still, till it includes embraces all the living. Come wonder at this love that comes to life, where words of freedom are with humor spoken, and people join in the movement of the love that frees, till people of whatever race or nation are truly themselves, stand on their feet, see eye to eye with laughter and elation. See eye to eye with laughter and elation.
Our lives are made up of so many different, vibrant strands, intricately woven together. Strands that are made up of things like family and love and work and passion and health and well-being and interest and curiosity and regrets and sorrows. Each of those strands connected to a person or time in our lives that may be long gone, but still somehow are energetically present with us. If we could wave our hands in this room and somehow make all of those strands visible, almost like the fine lines that are etched on our palms, I wonder what each of yours would look like. I think with baby Fiona, I was pondering this morning, what would baby Fiona's strands look like at this point in her life? And her mom might say something different, but I was imagining colors like pink and amber, really rich, warm colors surrounding her, representing all the love and care that her parents had been giving her since before the time she was born. And I was thinking about mine, and I was imagining mine are some of the deep pinks from the roses in my garden that represent roses I planted for my mom and my two grandmas. I imagine the greens of the trees that shade my home woven in there. And then in between are threaded strands of regret in different hues of blue. More and more of us these days are finding threads that are connected to our alarm and dismay about our climate crisis And for me, when I think about those threads, I imagine them reflecting the colors of our hills on fire during fire season, which comes more and more frequently, it seems like, every year. This month, we've been following Joanna Macy's Spiral That Reconnects, and Joanna Macy is a lover of earth, and her intent is not to alarm us, but her intent is to move us from a sense of dismay into being able to take action and save all we can. We began the month in gratitude, and then we poured out our collective sorrows, but we didn't stop there. We lit candles of joy because we know that there is joy underneath all of it. And we know that in any one day, 1 hour, 1 heartbeat, all of those emotions can be present within us. Earlier, we heard Robin Wall Kimmerer's description of the many single strands that make up a basket. The marvel of a basket is in its transformation, its journey from wholeness as a living plant to fragmented strands back to wholeness again as a basket. A basket knows the dual powers of destruction and creation that shape the world. Strands once separated are rewoven into a new whole. The journey of a basket is also the journey of a people. As a spiritual and religious people, part of our inner work, part of our inner journey is taking all those separate strands in our lives and weaving them into our own wholeness. And us dealing with this climate crisis is a part of that. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the importance of acknowledging the pain and grief we feel, but to not let ourselves become completely overwhelmed by it. And in Joanna Macy's model, the point of acknowledging it is for us to be able to move ourselves into this sense of active hope. And Macy names 3 characteristics of active hope. One is active hope is allowing the truth of what's happening to our earth to strengthen us. Active hope is about living creatively in a world full of challenges, and active hope is about us choosing truth, living creatively, choice. Active hope is a lived, embodied, daily practice, and it involves 3 strands. One is taking a clear view of reality. 2, identifying the direction we want things to go. And 3, to take steps to move ourselves in that direction. And the guiding impetus behind it all is not some sort of fake optimism, but it is really our personal intention. And so just as individual strands of sweetgrass transform into a basket, we can take these strands and start to create a more life-sustaining society that is committed to the health and recovery and well-being of every person and thing on our earth. We take those strands and we create our own basket of hope. So imagine right now that you have these 3 strands in your hands. I want you to take your hands out and really start to feel these 3 strands. And you can do an easy braid or a complicated braid, or you can just let them lie in your hands if your fingers are tired this morning. And remember that one of those strands is your own clear view of reality. When you hold that strand, what do you see? What do you feel? When you hold the second strand, it's what you hope for, the direction you want to see the world move in. Start to lay it on top of that first strand of taking a clear view. What is it you most hope for in this world? And then you take the third strand, and it's something that you can do right now, right this minute, and start to layer that on. You start to move yourself or the situation in the direction of what you hope for. With so much in front of us, what's just one simple thing you can do as soon as you leave through these doors today that can help you live into that new vision you see of how the world can be? I don't often like to call people out from the pulpit because I didn't give you a warning, so in advance, I apologize. But I was just struck on Friday that Kate Bartlett, one of the things that Kate is doing is writing for a local paper about some of the environmental issues right here in Pasadena. We have George in the third pew here, who has spent most of his life tending and loving and nurturing plants so that we have more of their breath and energy in our world. I'm not going to say anyone else's name, but I know many of you are also doing things daily to help heal and bring peace to the communities around you. So here you have your 3 strands, and you're weaving them all together, and you're starting to shape your basket of hope. What colors are in it? The warm tones of the setting sun that's reflected in our mountains. Or maybe it's the silvery sages that you find along our arroyo trails. Maybe you're not that into nature, which is fine, and instead you've got glittery gold found on a disco floor somewhere. We'll take that too. We got to have glitter in our baskets. And what type of designs have you put in it? And then finally, how big did you decide to go with your basket? Who in here decided that yours is going to be a gigantic tote that needs almost its own car seat if you drive a car? I decided that was going to be mine. I was just going to go wild with it. And then there might be some of you who weren't ready to go that big yet, and you have more of the small mini ones that you can just put on your back, which is fine because it means you won't get tired when you're holding it. So I invite you to slip that basket over your arm and carry it with you when you go about your day, letting it gently guide your own actions for a more whole and healthy earth. But we don't only want you to be thinking about this in your head right now, but a way for you to embody it, to bring that message home. And Dave and Rachel and Ripley created a ritual for our community to help us embody this. It's a ritual of love and care for our earth. There is a map on a table down here. And on this bistro stand, you will see some items that symbolize different things. There's flowers that symbolize love and peace. There are leaves that symbolize healing, gems that mean equity, pine cones for compassion, shells for liberty, stones for truth. And if you already forgot what the first 2 were, that is okay, because I think they actually wrote what they are, thank you, on the table. And so imagine what part of our world might need more healing, might need more compassion, might need more equity. And as your body and spirit and heart want to participate, I invite you to come down the aisle and look at the collection on the bistro table and then gently place it on the map where you most think they need to go. Adrian Rich wrote, "My heart is moved by all I cannot save. So much has been destroyed. I have to cast my lot with those who, age after age, perversely, with no extraordinary power, reconstitute the earth. In the days that come, remember that you came down to this altar with your own basket of hope on your arm. And when you made your way down here, you did not arrive alone. You were with others, your strands woven together with theirs, holding on to that active hope together." And we sing into that sense of hope, Blue Boat Home, 1064, and the teal hymnal. If your body feels like rising, I invite you to rise. If your voice feels like humming along, I invite you to hum along.
Low below me, I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rider, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea afore me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Place a hand on your heart and reach one out to someone in the room or someone on the live stream. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us. Let it illuminate our basket of hope that we carry out in the world. May you continue to bring things like love and healing and equity into the world around you. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen and blessed be.
Life has loveliness to sell, all beautiful and splendid things. Blue waves whitened on a cliff, soaring far that sways and sings. All children's faces looking up, holding wonder like a cup. Spend all you have for loveliness, the mute. Never buy and never count the cost for one singing hour of peace. breath of ecstasy. Give all you have been or could be. Life has loveliness to sell.